did somebody say? Food run. We're basically doing another food run today. So let's start heading out. Today I'm grabbing food with my friend who I grabbed lunch with. I saw him last week, but when I hung out with him last week, that was the first time I had seen him in about like 2 months. So when I do see him, I try to see him as many times as possible, and we sort of accept the fact that it might be a very long time before we see each other again. So we try to make the most of it. So I thought, why not try to hang out with him again this week, because I'm not sure when I'm going to go back to my house and how all that's going to play out. I'm still waiting to hear back on the offer I'd placed on that second property last week. So that's sort of in limbo, and whether I stay here or not is also in limbo. So just going to hang out with him, you know, for a few hours and then head back, and yeah, we'll see how the rest of the evening goes. Last night, before I absolutely knocked out, I was looking at the rear tires for this car again. As you guys know, I've been talking about the rear tires forever, but they're fairly expensive. They're almost like upwards of $500 a piece. I think the cheapest one I found was about like $400 something. And yeah, so I've been really thinking about it, because with tax and everything, that California tax be hidden. So we're looking at almost like $1,000 for 2 rear tires, and I've been considering it for a long time, but I haven't gotten them. And I'm also considering the fact that, like, I'm already on slicks. Those tires are probably going to be even worse. So I'm like, it might not be a good idea, like, whatsoever, to have them in the rain. But we are in Cali, so it's not like it rains that often, and I don't even go outside like that. So between the two, like, the chance of me driving in the rain isn't very high, or even, you know, driving on wet roads, the chance of that happening is not very high at all, since I stay indoors most of the time. And when I do go out, 99.999% of the time, I'm not the one driving. So it's hard to tell whether I should get it or should I not. And I was also looking at car parts for the '04 Mustang, which I've done on numerous occasions. I sort of save the links of products I'm looking for, but by the time I go back to them later on, the products sometimes aren't even on sale anymore. So it's an interesting dynamic, to say the least. And yeah, so I was looking for new parts, and the main things I was focusing on were wide wheels, so I could put wider tires and sort of have the car sit a lot better. I thought about I was thinking about doing a Cobra spoiler, which I thought about before as well. So I found another one that wasn't too pricey, obviously a replica, and a whole front fascia basically of like a Cobra, all the replica parts obviously. And I wouldn't put the Cobra emblem on it or anything like that, but I'm probably going to just debadge the entire car and sort of have the Cobra bumper, front bumper or front fascia, so the entire front section will look like a Cobra. I'm going to get a cowl hood, which I've always wanted since I was a little kid. I've always wanted a cowl hood with a Mustang. I always thought it was really cool. I'm supposed to get one for this car as well, but there aren't many options, and the only option I recall seeing is the Cervini one, but other ones I think are around 1,000 plus as well. So that's that. But in any case, so yeah, the Cobra spoiler, Cobra front fascia. I looked at rear window louvers, which I know everybody hates louvers, but I like the look. So that I was thinking about redoing the entire exhaust looked at. I mean, I want to sort of do an overhaul on the entire car, so we'd basically be rebuilding it all together. So there's a lot of stuff that I would need to do. I am still leaning towards painting the car black, which would be done later. I wanted to redo the interior so it has leather in it all around, and I'd probably need to paint part of the interior, like the dash and stuff, because the interior is like a two-tone. The fabric matches the color of the dash and all the, you know, center console and all that, but I sort of want everything to sort of be black in the interior, maybe a touch of blue, I'm not sure, so you'll have sort of some remnant of the car being blue originally, but not really sure. But I do want a black interior and black leather, so that would happen later. I do want to do that twin turbo build, which would probably happen later, but you know, I am going to be dropping off the car at the shop once the X5 and the C55 are completed, or my dad's going to be dropping it off. So I was thinking maybe I get some of these parts so we could start rebuilding the Mustang while it's getting repaired, so it could actually be on the road again and be in really good condition. So that's sort of where my mind is at. Obviously these parts are going to come unpainted, so in the scenario that I do drive that Mustang around, it will be obvious that it's definitely a project car. I mean, the paint on the car right now isn't the greatest in some areas, but obviously if you have like a whole hood that's a whole different color, and you have you know, a spoiler, I think the spoiler is probably coming painted, but it won't match obviously, and then we're gonna have the front fascia of the car completely unpainted as well, so it'll look interesting until I get the car painted, and you know, I might get it painted in 2025 at some point. Obviously I don't really drive the car, nor do I completely mind it looking like a project car that's sort of like not the same color. But you know, I mean, we're just going with the flow. We'll see what happens. Obviously I'm also waiting on this whole second house situation, so there could be a possibility that I get the quote for the Mustang and don't actually do the repairs right away, and in which case I wouldn't you know, put all these parts on it and stuff, because I'm gonna have to spend a decent amount of money on the part. The Insta360 camera acting stupid. It's been a while since I stopped sort of using it as heavily as I used to, so I had sort of forgot that it would always have some sort of issue, but the camera just shut off randomly a few seconds ago. But as I was saying, yeah, I'm going to have to spend some money on parts, obviously going to have to spend money on the labor as well, so it really depends on the second house and how things play out, and that could easily impact my decision on whether I get the repairs done on the Mustang now or later, and you know, whether I do put those parts on, or do I purchase those parts and put them on the car, or how do I exactly approach all of that, given the second house and the money that will be going towards there. The first house will end up becoming a rental, so I will need to pull out a certain amount of items out of there and put it in the new place, but I'm not really 100% sure what I'll do with the new place at this point, so it's sort of a coin toss in the air. I'm not really 100% sure what I'm doing. I'm weighing all these different options, trying to think about what will get me further and what will get me closer to the Lamborghini as soon as possible, because I am, you know, thinking about this damn Lamborghini like all the time, and I'm trying to get it as quickly as possible. But I did promise myself that I was going to make smarter financial decisions in terms of investing my money first. So as long as I invest my money first, I would say that's a win, and I could go get my Lambo, and I still you know, uphold the promise I made to myself. And yeah, so we'll just see how everything plays out, and you guys will probably see it in this vlog. And if I didn't know any better, one last thing that I wanted to say is that I feel like this minivan is low-key racing me, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it was, you know, as soon as I changed lanes, he decided to change lanes, and then as soon as I came over on here, like, he decided to be in this lane as well. So, like, I don't know, it's just weird to me. But
in half a mile, turn right on Industrial Parkway.
I don't know what the hell they were doing, but shit, we could run it, my boy.
Approaching a railroad crossing, turn right on Industrial Parkway.
First visit was successful. We got a couple of vaccines. Looks good, generally speaking. They did a general checkup and they said he looked good. We decided to go to PetSmart, get him a toy. Looked at other toys, but I thought this is something he would probably like, since I think he doesn't like a lot of toys. And we got him a bunch of treats, so we'll be trying those out since he didn't really like the treats that I gave him previously, which is something that I guess Savannahs usually have, but I guess he's unique in the sense that he didn't really enjoy it. And yeah, headed back home, and then we do have another visit in a few weeks. Here we are on another day, let me not fall. And well, we got Milo over here. Versace's in the bedroom, and yeah, a little food run action with my grandma today. It is wet, so we're going to have to be very careful with the drag setup since we are on slicks. Trip should, what do I feel like I look ridiculous right now, but trip should not take too long. Probably take like 10 minutes to get there, 10 minutes to come back. Damn CarPlay every single time. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the food is probably going to consume like 15 to 20 minutes to get, because I am getting dinner for everybody, so we will have several orders. And yeah, we'll just see how long it takes, and hopefully I'm back sooner than later, because I don't really enjoy being in the cold or like rainy weather. For me, I actually prefer being indoors when it's cold. I don't know how you guys feel. I'd rather be in a warm place than be outside when it's raining or when it's cold. All right, just ordered, and now it's time to just walk around. How are you? Pick these up, and yeah, literally had to get them when I saw them. Way too nice. I think these are the cements. Not even sure if that's what they're called, but obviously they have the cement print. Literally have not picked up anything in so long, so it was a pretty nice feeling. Expensive one, unfortunately, but it is what it is, I guess. Black fire red cement grays. So Definitely gonna catch me wearing these very soon. Here we are on this coldish California winter day. It's super frosty outside, so I thought it would actually be cold, but it doesn't really feel cold, generally speaking. But regardless, I'm out here, and yeah, I'm about to start the day pretty much. And we have the Mustang out here. As you guys saw, it is quite literally not turning on. As you guys have seen, I think in the previous vlog, maybe part of it was in here, we jumped it. The next day it didn't start. I think we jumped it again and it didn't start again or something along those lines. So we were basically charging it several days out of last week, and it was running, and it ended up not starting. And at this point I was just like, you know what, I'm not even going to waste the time jumping it, because it's only lasting like 24 hours or less in this cold weather. And yeah, so as you guys know, we are going to take it to the shop. At this point, things are proceeding on the second property. Whether it ends up being this one or a different property, I will find out, I guess, on Friday. Today is Wednesday, so I had to wait, I guess, 2 more days. Our offer is actually one of 2 that's left, supposedly. You know, my side reached out to the other side and got an update, and they basically said there's 2 offers left. One is mine, and they're going to basically still think it over until Friday and then make a decision on who they move forward with. So regardless, you know, I guess it depends. If I get this property, I probably will not repair the Mustang right now. If I do get the property, or if I do get the property, I'm not going to repair the Mustang right now until things settle down. If I don't get this property, I'm still looking very heavily at this point on the next property, just so I can go get my Lambo after getting the second property. And yeah, so I guess we will reevaluate the situation on the Mustang very soon. But right now, the goal is at bare minimum to take it to the shop and get a quote for everything that needs to be fixed. That way I have an understanding moving forward on what I need to do to get the Mustang sort of back on the road. And I guess I'll decide when I could actually afford to get the Mustang up and running and back on the road. Obviously I did want to modify it as well, but I think I'm going to hold off on the modifications unless the repairs are cheap, which I sort of doubt. But I mean, it is American car, so maybe it will be cheap. And yeah, with that, I guess we'll just see what happens, and I'm sure you guys will get an update very, very soon on the car as well as the second house. Here we are with the cars. Not sure where to even start, but we are literally shooting multiple sponsored videos with car products, so we're gonna need the 24 GT for that, and we're going to obviously use this on this Mustang. We'll see how well this works. It charged super fast, so if something goes wrong, we could always charge this pack again. Is it doing a countdown? Okay, there we go. Damn. Okay, well, heard the car. I think the car locked, not unlocked, but unfortunately I do have multiple sets of keys. Okay, I think it's doing its work. We'll just have to wait on it and come back in a little. But I guess it did not lock. We'll head out to the next product. This product is pretty cool. If you guys have been watching for a while, we actually had this company's prior product, which allowed us to watch stuff on the CarPlay screen. Here we are, a couple hours later, and the Mustang finally started. Surprisingly, it didn't take as much effort as it normally would if it's been sitting for a while, but yeah, it's finally back, and hopefully it continues to start, but I guess we'll see what happens. And yeah, I guess I'll just let it run for a little bit. Interesting mileage on here, 127.9.0. You guys will be able to tell based on the reflection of the light over here, but when I try to use the switches, the light literally flickers over here. As you guys can tell, it's solid right now, but man, this Mustang definitely needs power. Long-lasting power, to say the least. Long story, but we're going to do some Black Friday shopping in the Mustang. My sister's rear tire was low on air pressure, and then she realized that while we were pumping the air at the house, that there's literally a nail or a screw, I think it's a screw, in her tire. So we decided that it'll just be easier to take the Mustang than the GLS because it is smaller and such. And yeah, so let's head out. First destination. We finally made it back. Traffic was crazy. Should have brought my 360 camera to show you guys, but regardless, we are finally home. I actually didn't end up browsing much. I was trying to find parking most of the time, so I didn't even really go to the outlets for very long. And yeah, the couple of places I did go, it was more just looking around rather than getting anything. I am thinking about finally grabbing tires for this car, so I think that's what I'm going to be doing today once I head back inside. Hopefully the sale did not end, but yeah, way thicker tires than this. And yeah, might be getting parts for the 04 as well. And that's sort of where we're at. At this point, we are basically going to take the 528i to the shop. Obviously, we let the car sit all day since we took the Mustang Black Friday shopping. And yeah, so we're gonna take it to the shop, see what happens, and stay tuned. At this point, we were basically told that the screw in the tire is not what's actually causing the air to leak. There is actually cracks on the back side of the wheel, which one of those cracks are causing there to be an air leak. And at this point, you can't try to, I guess you could always try to find the wheel, but you're unlikely to find the wheel that was on the car, which was a replica M wheels. Not sure if it was off of M5, but it might have been. And that was, it was produced years ago, so it's hard to find at this point. So they recommended or suggested that at this point you might as well get a new set of wheels and keep the same tires, since they are run flats and they are a bit more expensive. And that's where we're at, and we'll see what my sister decides to do tomorrow. At this point, it is finally the weekend, or I guess part of the weekend, since it was a long weekend, and my sister has decided that she wants the quickest fix, which means that she's going to have to purchase wheels from the tire shop, get something that they either have in stock or can get very quickly, and we're just going to get something new in terms of the wheel setup, and basically keep the same tires that the car already has. And on top of that, we will be going to some other places. I'll record bits and pieces. I'm not the one driving, so it's not really car content per se, but yeah, I'll see you guys later. And a quick update is the house. So yesterday basically figured out, or was told by my realtor, that the seller ended up moving forward with the other offer. As you guys know, there were two offers at the end, one of them being mine. They decided that they want to pursue my offer as a backup, and they're going to pursue the other offer and see what happens on this short sale deal. And if the bank approves, they'll run with that one. If the bank rejects that offer, then they want to come back to mine. And I basically said that I'm not really interested in being the backup. I'm going to move forward on what I need to do, not wait around. So my realtor basically let the other side know, left a voicemail, I think, and we haven't heard back. So that property is probably out of it, but I do have, I think, currently 16, or I think there's 15 other properties that I am looking at. And yeah, so we'll see what we do next weekend. I might set up tours. Freaking alarm disrupted me, but basically I want to see if there's any movement on this current property, and you know, if the seller is still adamant about pursuing the other offer, then I'll probably schedule the tours. I'm not really sure if I want to go out there, because it will take time to go out there and then come back. Right now as we speak, we're having work done. The bathroom is, I think, going to be demolished today. I'm not really sure, but they are wrapping up the piping underneath the house today. And my dad's out there, and yeah, I'm not feeling all too well, as you could probably tell by my voice. So I'm not 100% sure I'll be going out there. And yeah, but we'll see. I have plenty of work to do. I have plenty of content stuff to do, like sponsorships and such. So I don't know if I necessarily have the time to go out there and, you know, spend a day looking at houses, but we'll just see what happens. And if you guys were wondering how the little one's doing, this is him. At this point, he is, I guess, 2 months and about a week old. And his checkup went well the other day, which was last weekend, which I might have recorded bits and pieces of, but I don't think I explained how it went. But it went really well, actually. And yeah, I do need to take him in, I think, 2 weeks. I think December 15th was the date. I need to take him for his remaining vaccines.